When you start out in a gym, as a skinny young man, when you're starting the gym, obviously you're going to be making mistakes. You're not going to be performing exercises right. You're not going to be performing the exercises with the right technique. You may not even know what exercises to do, right? And you're bound to make mistakes, right? As a beginner, not just in the gym, but with anything in life. If you start on day one of your job, do you expect things to be flowing smoothly? Of course not. You've got to learn. You've got to make mistakes in order to learn, in order to gain experience, in order to grow into the person that can make things flow as smoothly as you want to in the future. So through this video, I want to just change your little. I just want to shift your paradigm, and I want to switch your perspective and your mindset on how making mistakes in the gym is actually a good thing, and it will help you make progression so much quicker if you use mistakes as to your advantage, right? But before we get into this video, I just want to introduce myself to you guys. So my name is Ryan, and I have undergone a physical and mental transformation over the past 3 years, transforming myself from this in 2021 to now looking like this in 2024. And I'm on a mission to inspire and help skinny young men who struggle with weight gain, struggle with muscle gain, and struggle to find success in the gym, to help them find those things. And in order to help me achieve this goal, and in order to help me change skinny young men's lives, I have just launched my free school community. I'll leave the link to it in the description down below. It is a safe haven for skinny young men who are on the exact same journey. They help each other, they motivate each other, and I help you achieve the physique you truly want. So if that sounds interesting to you, and if you're a skinny young man and you want a brotherhood of the same people on the same journey, I'll leave that in the description for you, and I'll see you inside. Now, let's get into this video. So I just want to get this across to you, and the earlier you actually realize that making mistakes is a good thing, the more you're going to make progression the earlier in your gym journey. So let's get into this video. So first of all, making mistakes is a good thing because you gain experience and you learn through these experiences and these past experiences, which are going to help you grow in the future. And this is because obviously everyone starts somewhere in the gym. Everyone makes mistakes, as I said. Therefore, you're going to gain experiences. And these experiences, as some people say, and I completely agree with this, and you need to realize this, experiences are, if not one of, if not the most valuable thing anyone can possess in life, even more than money, right? And this is because you have direct involvement in making that mistake and in that past experience. Therefore, you know exactly how it feels to perform an exercise wrong again, for example, when you come back to it. Therefore, the chances of you being able to fix up and perform the exercise right in the future is going to be a lot higher. So, for example, if you go into the gym on day one and you perform incline dumbbell press incorrectly, which is probably likely to happen because you don't necessarily know how to perform that correctly, and you don't feel your chest, you're going to pick up on this, and as you had that direct involvement and as you actually knew how it felt to perform the exercise wrong, you're going to go back home, look at how to perform it properly, and then you're going to go back to the gym, and the likelihood of you fixing your mistake in that situation because you had direct involvement in that mistake and that past experience is going to be a lot higher, right? So learning through experiences is so important, and making mistakes provide you these experiences that you can take advantage of and use as opportunities to grow, which is so important. And I'm going to just quickly go through a few reasons why experience is so important in the gym, and then I'm going to go through a few other reasons why making mistakes is a good thing. So first of all, experiences provides you, and it'll make you undergo personal growth and development. And this is because making mistakes in whatever you do, not just in the gym but in life, and undergoing challenging and unpleasant experiences, it makes you undergo personal growth and development. And this is because these things build your character through teaching you characteristics and character traits such as resilience, patience, discipline, humility, and these characteristics shape you into the person you want to become. So don't be afraid to make mistakes because you're going to gain these experiences, therefore you're going to be able to fix them, therefore you're going to be able to obviously, the more you get past and you overcome these mistakes and these past experiences and these unpleasant experiences, the more resilient you're going to be, the more patient you're going to be, the more humility you're going to have with yourself, and the more disciplined you're going to be, which is going to help you going forward, and which is going to help you achieve and become the person you want to become. And I just want to say, I do not regret anything. I do not regret any mistakes I made. I do not regret any past experiences that I've been through. I do not regret any unpleasant experiences that I've been through. And you can't regret anything. You can't regret anything in life, because everything you've done has led to you becoming the person you are today. And I wouldn't change anything I wouldn't change anything at all, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. So it's so important that you realize that making mistakes gives you these past experiences, which helps you undergo personal growth and development. And without these experiences and without these mistakes being made, you may not be able to shape into the person that you want to eventually become. So it's so important you realize this. And on to the second reason why gaining experience is so valuable in life. And this is because with with experience comes confidence and independence with yourself. And this is because you're aware that you've overcome, and you're aware that you've made mistakes, and that you've risen above, and you've overcome these mistakes and these past experiences, which has obviously helped you grow as a person and developed you as a person, which gives you increased confidence and independence. So when it comes to making these mistakes again, you're going to know from these past experiences that you've been able to overcome them before. Therefore, the resilience and the patience and the humility and the discipline is going to kick in. Therefore, you're gonna have confidence to do that again, right? If you make mistakes, you're going to be able to work on it. You're going to be able to work on it again and again and again and again, which is going to help you grow as a person more and more and more and more. Okay, so it's important that you realize making mistakes and obviously having these past experiences, they increase your confidence and obviously your independence when having to approach these mistakes. And another thing as well, I want to talk about confidence and independence. When people make mistakes in the gym, people don't want to make mistakes in the gym. When you're a beginner, you want to fit in, you want to be the norm in the gym, and you don't want to make mistakes, and you don't want to be seen as embarrassing, and you don't want to embarrass yourself, right? But what you don't realize is that the less you make these mistakes, the more you're actually going to feel embarrassed when you make mistakes, because you're gonna wind yourself up about it, and then when it comes to actually making mistakes, you're going to feel more embarrassed. So the more and the quicker you can accept making mistakes gives you experience, which will actually give you confidence and independence, because now you've made mistakes, you don't give a fuck, because you finally realize that people don't give a toss. Then you can have more confidence and independence with yourself in the gym, which can obviously, as I said, help you when overcoming mistakes and putting things right, and growing as a person and making progress in the long term in the gym, and being a confident person, not just in the gym but in life. So it's so important that you realize making mistakes and learning through these experiences provides you with this stuff. And now onto the third thing. That making mistakes and learning through experiences can provide you with, and that is improved decision making. Because you make mistakes and because you have past experiences, you know what works for you and you know what doesn't work for you. Therefore, going forward in the future, you can make better decisions. You can make better judgments of things before you do them, because you've got these mistakes and these past experiences to refer to. However, if you don't have these mistakes and past experiences, you'll have absolutely no idea what to do. Therefore, you're not going to be as good at decision making, and you're going to have to put yourself through those experiences, pleasant or unpleasant, later down the line if you were too scared to do them before. So it's so important that you put yourself forward sooner rather than later. Therefore, later down the line, you're going to have probably more mistakes to refer to and more past experiences to refer to. Therefore, you're going to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you more, which is so important in the gym. And that is a completely different video, but I just want to briefly talk about how different things work for different people. And if you don't know and if you don't have any past experiences or mistakes to refer to, then the likelihood of you not knowing what works for you is going to be high. And knowing what works for you in the gym can literally propel you to exponential progress. So it's so important that you view making mistakes as a good thing and as opportunities to grow, because the experience you gain from mistakes helps you improve your decision making in the future and in the long term, right? Now, moving on So now moving on from experience, so you know why experience is so valuable in the gym and why it's so important going forward, and how it develops your character, it gives you confidence, and it improves your decision making going forward. Now on to reason number two of why making mistakes in the gym is actually a good thing and why you need to change your mindset on it. Is because it builds mental toughness within yourself. Going back to that personal development and that personal growth, you build mental toughness within yourself because because you make mistakes, you go through, you go through uncomfortable times and you go through discomfort when you make mistakes sometimes, and it teaches you to be mentally stronger and to overcome that. And the more you do that, and the more mistakes you can overcome that have led to discomfort, that can lead to you being more mentally tough in the future, which is not just important in the gym, but in life as well. And going back to why it's important in the gym, if you build that mental toughness and that discipline, that can lead to you being able to push yourself harder in the gym, right? And that can lead to you that can the likelihood of you achieving success in the gym because of this mental toughness is a lot higher, because you're going to keep going even when times are hard, and you're going to know even when times are hard they get better again because you've gone through that in the past. Therefore, if you don't allow yourself to make these mistakes, and if you're scared to make these mistakes, you miss out on this mental toughness, and you miss out on the initial discomfort, and you miss out on the comfort of knowing that going through discomfort doesn't last forever, right? Because you're gonna be able to overcome it. But if you don't actually allow yourself to go through making mistakes and you're scared to make mistakes, then you're never gonna you're never gonna have these past experiences to refer to, right? So it's so important that you realize that making mistakes is a good thing, because it builds that mental toughness and that discipline within you to overcome any initial discomfort. And reason number three to why making mistakes in the gym is actually a good thing is because it creates a stronger foundation. You lay those building blocks, you create that stronger foundation, which is going to propel you to success in the long term. And this is because making mistakes is the best teacher possible at the start of your gym journey, because by understanding not what to do, you can work on what to do, right? And as I said earlier, you have direct involvement in these mistakes, so you know how it actually feels to make these mistakes. Therefore, if you know what to do, the earlier you know what not to do, the quicker you can work on doing the right thing, which is going to propel you to success in the long term, right? And another thing why it creates these foundations is because the earlier you realize these mistakes, and the earlier you make these mistakes, and the earlier you are aware of what not to do, the quicker you create good and correct habits in the gym. And through having these minor setbacks, it forces you to correct and make and have these good habits. So for example, if you injured yourself on bench press, that can be a consequence of you not warming up properly. Therefore, when you get back to benching, you're going to know to warm up properly. Therefore, that's not going to happen again. Therefore, those good habits are going to slowly build, which is going to help you in the long term, and which is going to help you prevent yourself from injury as well. If you have the quicker you have these minor setbacks, and I'm not saying strive to have these minor setbacks, I'm saying when you naturally have these minor setbacks, the quicker you're going to build on and correcting good habits, which is going to lead to long-term success and injury prevention, as I said with that example, in the future. And before we end this video, I just want to go back to the personal growth and the personal development bit and talk specifically about how making mistakes in the gym and viewing them as a good thing will help you embrace humility within yourself. And what this basically means is that you're humble, and you're basically not an egotistical twat, and you're always open to hearing people out, right? And you're hearing people's thoughts, and you're open to people wanting to help you, right? And this is probably one of the most important characteristics and the most important character traits that you need to be able to embrace in the gym. And this is because if you're not humble, and if you're not open to learning, and if you're not open to anyone trying to help you, then how do you think you're going to make progression? And this is so important because you need to realize in the gym, you're forever a student. You're a lifelong student in the gym, and that and there's always something to learn in the gym, is what I'm trying to say, right? Chris Bumstead, one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, 5-time classic Physique Olympia winner. I'll put him up on the screen if you don't know who he is. I guarantee you he's always learning new stuff every year before his competitions. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of, if not the greatest footballer of all time. I guarantee you he's still learning stuff, and he's at GOAT status, right? Everyone is learning, and you need to realise this, and you're in life, not just in the gym, but in life, you're a lifelong student. So the more humility you have, the quicker the more you're going to learn, therefore the quicker you're going to progress. And another thing this helps you realize, and this helps you embrace, it helps you embrace progress over perfection. When skinny young men step in the gym for the first time, as I was saying earlier, they don't want to look stupid, they don't want to look embarrassing, they don't want to embarrass themselves, and most importantly, they want to fit in, and they want to fit in with the normal in the gym. So they're scared of making mistakes, and this leads to them striving for perfection, which is completely unrealistic, especially at the start of your gym journey. So making mistakes actually brings your feet and keeps you on the ground, and it just reminds you that fitness is a journey, and it's not about being perfect every day, because if you try and live up to perfection, you're probably going to get depressed, because it's not realistic, right? And making mistakes reminds you that it's all about having slow improvements over time and making progress over time, and it's not about perfection every day. So that is why making mistakes is actually a good thing, because it brings your feet back to the ground, and it keeps you on the ground, and it just reminds you that making small progress over time, small little increments, and small and constant progress over time, is what I'm trying to say, is more important than striving for perfection. And not being open to mistakes is basically the equivalent to wanting to strive for perfection, because making mistakes is completely natural in life, and if you're scared to make them, and as I said, you're going to be striving for perfection, and you need to be reminded that making progress over time literally will lead to better results than striving for perfection. So that is the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed my waffle and truly learned something about why making mistakes in the gym is actually a good thing, and you shouldn't be scared to make mistakes, and you should be fearless, and you should confront mistakes whenever you make them. And just to remind you, I'm not saying just go out there and make mistakes and just chase making mistakes as much as possible, because that won't work, right? You've got to let these mistakes happen naturally, and don't worry, they will happen. They happen all the time. You know, someone on day one makes mistakes. I make mistakes, and I'm 3.5 years into my gym journey. Chris Bumstead makes mistakes, and he's one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Everyone is constantly learning, and you need to be open to making these mistakes for that reason. If you have enjoyed this video and truly learned something, I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like, a comment, and a subscription down below. If you want to stay around, then I'm delighted to be able to help you on your gym journey, going from that skinny young man to sculpted. And if you seem interested in my free community, then the link's there, mate. The link is there. So I will see you guys in the next video.